Welcome to the Hair Loss Show. Dr. Russell Knudsen and Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash discuss issues relating to hair loss and the medical and surgical treatment of hair loss in both men and women.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the Hair Loss Show. My name is Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash.
I'm Dr. Russell Knudsen.
And thanks again for watching. And in today's episode, we're going to tackle a concept or a product that a lot of you have been requesting more information on and have been asking questions on, and that is rosemary oil. And I'll be honest, straight off the bat, it's not something that either of us, I'm pretty confident to say, that either of us use regularly in our practice. But rosemary oil is something that has been around for eons. It's been used traditionally. There's a lot of documented evidence of people using it over many hundreds of years.
For a variety of reasons.
Correct. And it's been shown to have some degree of benefit.
Antioxidant,
anti-inflammatory as well.
Anti-inflammatory therapy and supposedly boosting microcirculation.
Yes. So I think that's generally how it's potentially been purported to work. I mean, no one is ever going to do a double-blinded randomized control study on rosemary oil versus, placebo. It's never going to. There's just not enough money in the product to do that.
But believe it or not, there is one trial
Yes.
in 2015 of using rosemary oil in a double-blinded trial for 6 months compared to 2% minoxidil.
2%, yeah.
And the irony of this trial is at the end of the 6 months, there was nothing, there was no improvement, no difference between the groups at 3 months. And at 6 months, there was still no difference in the groups really, but there was a slight increase in hair growth. And so the supporters of rosemary are going to say, well, hey, that just goes to prove it's as good as minoxidil. Well, the short answer is, given that minoxidil at its best would improve things at 4 months, but generally it's in the second 6 months and the third 6 months you see whether it's really going to have an effect at all. 6 months trial is not good enough scientifically to do it. And secondly, when you're applying something topically, you're massaging into the scalp.
That's right.
And you've got hairs in the scalp that are sitting there between cycles. There are two types. There's the telogen hairs and there's the exogen hairs, right? And they can be stimulated back into activity just by the simple act of applying anything. So, for example, I'm convinced that I could use a toothbrush and toothpaste on a bald scalp and get some hair just by the stimulation effect of the toothbrush and the toothpaste. I probably should try the trial one day. But I would maintain some skepticism about this. I mean, that 6 month trial is nowhere near convincing enough to say that it has an effect. Yes, it's a remedy that's been used for hundreds of years. It comes from the Mediterranean, and people put it into their hair. And oil, of course, keeps moisture in hair, makes hair look more lustrous, coats the hair, makes it feel thicker, look thicker. There's all sorts of reasons why any oil that can be used. Almond oil as well, Moroccan oil, coconut oil, all of these things. Many cultures do this as well because they all make the hair feel thicker and feel better. So I'm going to maintain a healthy degree of skepticism about rosemary oil, and yes, people are going to ask about it because obviously somebody's been advertising it recently as one of the 1,000 things out there on the internet that are supposed to work.
So but I'd like to sort of underline the point, which is that I can't see anything negative about it. It's not doing any damage. It's not
going to do any harm.
Yeah.
But just about anything that people use for hair loss claims to have antioxidant, claims to boost microcirculation, right, and claims to be anti-inflammatory. And of course, if you have a dry scalp and you put oil on it, it moistens up the dry scalp and makes it feel better.
Yes.
So of course, it's going to have that kind of therapeutic effect, if you like. But none of the evidence that we have been able to find on it makes it any different from any other claim from any other oil.
And I certainly wouldn't be advocating it as a singular monotherapy, as just a singular therapy for if you're losing hair. Start on rosemary oil and you'll be fine. I think that you.
Well, I mean, it feeds into this natural therapies idea.
Yes.
And I just want to re-emphasise to our audience that we are not against natural therapies, right? We're not shills for the pharmaceutical industry, right?
Not at all.
We only believe in effective things that work. And so the reality is that without the evidence and just the marketing behind of these products, it's very hard for us to maintain anything other than a healthy degree of skepticism because Again, there are 1,000 things out there claim to do the same thing. So, jojoba oil, vitamin E, everything, is claimed to do this, but there's no good research done for it. These are called cosmeceutical claims because they say the word is may help, may assist. They're not making a therapeutic claim, and they're allowed to do that without presenting evidence. Right? So there's a big difference between the regulation of cosmeceutical claims and therapeutic claims.
Yeah.
So you want to read very carefully what the packet says, because if they're not quite making a therapeutic claim, they're just skirting around the legals of that.
So, I think there needs to be a multimodal approach, looking at various different options and seeing what works for you as an individual. We've talked a lot on the channel about a variety of different modalities as well, with medical therapy, non-invasive therapy such as low-level laser as well. These are all things that can be used as adjuncts. We'll link to those in the video as well. But yeah. Rosemary oil, we've got no issues with it as a product.
If people want to use it, I've got no problem, but I just maintain that degree of skepticism.
Absolutely. So hope that answers your question. I mean, we've had a lot of questions coming in about rosemary oil, and actually you and I both get that in clinic as well.
Yes.
A lot of people asking that question.
Right.
So hopefully you found that useful. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks, everybody.